Well, welcome everyone to Ryan Homestead Projects. It is episode 11. Wow, I can't believe that. We've got a lot to talk about. Before we get to that, the one thing that I do want to do is give a shout out to my latest subscriber, George. Thank you, George. I appreciate it. I hope that everyone that's subscribed can give me some comments. Let me know what you think, what you like, what you don't like, and give me some feedback so I can make this better and make you want to watch it. So let's talk about what we got going on this episode. So as you saw in the title, we had a major fiasco with the mini splits. All my fault. I'll get to the details on that and what I had to do to recover. Got a lot of different things going on. Did some work in the equipment cabinet. Cleaned up some electrical wiring. Did a whole bunch of other stuff. Plus, I do actually have a completed electrical circuit in my bus. No power to it, but it's completed. So let's get after it. Let's go back in time. Let's figure out what we can do and what we can show you and see what you think. Thank you, everyone, and like and subscribe. Well, welcome back, everyone. It is Saturday, March 22nd. It's late afternoon. I've been busy all day. Meant to do this earlier, but the batteries were dead. I had to reseat the battery to get it to charge, and here I am. We got a lot to talk about on this particular episode. As you saw, and I alluded to in the intro, bit of a fiasco, all my fault, but I'm going to give you a rundown on that. I was able to get a lot of stuff done during the week. I actually did get a lunchtime blitz in and then got a lot of stuff done in the afternoons. So the first thing we're going to do is take a walk down memory lane, go back through the week, catch you up to where we are now, and then we'll take a walk through and see what we got going on right now. All right, welcome back, everyone. It is Tuesday, March the 18th. It is time for another episode of the Lunchtime Blitz. I got 50 minutes to see what I can get done, and I'm going to get after it. What I'm working on right now is I'm trying to get all of the area behind the cabinets painted white. I'm going to try to get the cabinets themselves painted white for the interior. So let me put this on time lapse and let's see how much we can get done. bombshell, folks. I got her done. My alarm went off just as I was finishing up the last little bit on the strapping over here for the cabinets, but I've got all the walls painted on both sides. Got the insides of the cabinets all painted and the outsides that are going to be facing to the interior of the cabinets. The outside of them is not going to be painted. I'm just trying to put a finish coat on the inside to get them all finished and cleaned up. I'll be back after work and I'm going to go ahead and put a second coat on all this and be done with it. But I managed to pull it off right in the nick of time, so we'll be back. Well, good afternoon, everyone. It is still Tuesday. It is after work. I hope you enjoyed the lunchtime blitz. This is a recap of everything that I did. So I got the first coat on during my blitz. Came back in after work, and I now have the second coat, and in some places even a third coat. Retouched up the floor underneath where the cabinets are going to go. And got it all repainted again with a second coat. Got the same thing done over here on this side. And got it all set up. The reason that I did this is because I want the inside area of the cabinets to be finished white. Just to put a protective coating. It's easy. And get it all finished and sealed. Outside faces of the cabinets and stuff will not be painted. I haven't figured out exactly what I'm going to do yet, but they won't be painted. But I did want the insides all finished out and sealed and painted. So that's why I've done that. Got everything in place. So at this point, one of the main reasons why I jumped from electrical to this was I want to be able to get all my water stuff in. Get that all tied up and done so that I can lock in these cabinets and get them in place. And then work on doing some major cleanup and start actually working on some finish work and getting some electrical stuff in. So I just wanted to give you a quick update after work on Tuesday and let you know what I got done and where I'm at. So we'll see what else we can get into and pick it up again in a little bit. Hey everyone, it's still Tuesday and I wanted to give you an update on one of the things that I've been working for. This is basically a PhD in Modification 101. I got this box that I thought my Dinkle connectors would be able to fit in. Well, with all this 6-gauge wire that I've got going on, that wasn't even remotely a possibility. So I had to go through and do several iterations of modifications to get this thing to work. And I'm going to step you through each and every one of them so you can understand what I had to do. I don't recommend this at home, but it's what I did. It's going to work, and I'm going to use it. So, first thing I did was I cut out the bottom of the box, thinking that maybe I could drop this down all the way to the bottom and it would work. Well, that didn't work out. I mean, it worked to the point where if I didn't have the wires, that everything was perfect. Once I started running the wires through, this was not going to go down inside the box. So I pondered on it and realized that what I needed to do was provide somewhat of a bigger opening so that I could get the wires in and out and still be able to have a protective cover over the top of it, which is what this is. So this is the way it will look inside the bus when it's mounted. And this will screw down inside. It's still structurally strong. Probably not as strong as it was, but it is still solid. This thing will actually screw to the deck inside the bus because the bottom is open. These wires right here are basically the outputs of the EMS that come in. Notice these jumpers here. Remember I told you that I had to do a split neutral, split phase. So that's what this is. I have a single neutral and a single ground coming in. Put this jumper in and now I have two coming out. So I've got my line 1 black, line 1 neutral, line 1 ground that will go to one inverter. And then I've got my line 2 neutral, line 2 ground, line 2 neutral that will go to the other inverter. And I'll have my shore power inputs to both inverters through this with the right connections coming out of the EMS. So I had to more or less take all of this stuff and cut it out. I was hoping to be able to use the Liquidite. That wasn't even close to working. So I cut this out on one side. I don't know what happened to the other piece. Here it is. Cut this out on the other side, which is over here, and provided the framework for the wires to get in and out without being in a bind and without being bunched up. And I still have the ability to safely and accurately install, and so when it's in there, no one's ever going to know. So I just wanted to give you an update. I do want to take this out and show you. There's the bottom of the box, completely cut out all the way around. This does fit inside. I did have to cut the base of the Dinkel connectors to get it to fit in there, and that's what that is. But there's where I'm at. That's what I got going on with that. I just wanted to provide an update and show you where I'm at on that. Once I get everything finally installed, we'll be able to get this in place and make the final connections and make it work. I hope that was informative. If you have any questions, please leave a comment. Let me know, and I'll get back to you. Holy cow, everyone. Hot off the presses. It is Thursday, March the 20th, and look what I just got done. Isn't that pretty? Got all my fabric in my equipment cabinet. Well, except for over there. I'll take care of that later, but there's a reason for that. But got her all in. It was a lot of fun. I was going to film it, but I realized being inside this basically tin can of the bus and reading the instructions and finding out that the fumes from this glue that I was using was extremely flammable, I didn't want to capture an explosion on film, so I went ahead and did it without that just in case. But I've got the bottom drawer done. I'm not going to do the inside of the drawer cabinet because, well, not enough room. I don't know that my batteries will fit if I put that felt on the inside. This side over here is going to be cut off. It's not going to drop down inside. This right here, that is a complete and total mistake. I measured 14 times, validated 13, and I still got it wrong. That was supposed to be over there along that edge. So I fixed that, got it in place. No harm, no foul. It's not going to hurt anything. But I've got my equipment cabinet felt lining the entire equipment cabinet. What that means is that I am in a position and ready to start mounting all of my equipment permanently. I can put my batteries in. This right here, just so you're aware, is a battery separator for some lithium ion batteries I have. And this worked tremendously well to actually, if I can show you, I just, as I was gluing, I used this and ran it across the felt to squeeze it out, get all the ripples, everything out, get it to lay down flat. Use my hands as well. Hands work better than that did, but that worked really well in the corners. I do need to come back and, as you can see, trim some things up and clean some things up, but I want to let this glue set before I start doing that. I used Gorilla Glue, just so you know. That's what I used. I'm not endorsing it, not sponsored, it's just what I used. One of the things that I will tell you from my experience with it is it says that you can apply it to one surface and have 10 minutes to reposition. I applied it to one surface and it didn't stick. So I wound up having to put it both on the plywood and on the felt. And once I did that, worked great. And even though it was on both surfaces, I could still reposition because I definitely needed to do that in some places, and it worked great. So I wouldn't necessarily, I guess it depends on the material you're using, but I couldn't get it to work that way. So I put it on both surfaces, worked fine, everything glued up. I'm going to let it set, and then I'm going to come in and trim, clean everything up, and start working on putting some equipment in here. One of the other things that I will tell you is that this particular glue, putting it on this plywood, there is absolutely no visible trace of where you're applying the glue at. It doesn't wet the plywood. It doesn't do anything. It's like just spray and hope for the best, because you can't see, you know, if you got voids or anything like that. There's just absolutely no indication whatsoever. On the felt itself, that was not a problem. I could definitely clearly see where it was going and what it was going on, but on that plywood, I had no clue. But anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. This is where we're at on Thursday. Got this all in, ready to clean it up and start getting some equipment in. So I wanted to share that, and that's where we're at right now. Well, the first thing that I want to show you is that I actually have one completed circuit end to end in the bus from the panel to the plug. This is actually for my the ballast on my water filtration system. Is going to be under the cabinet behind the sink. It'll plug into there. But I do have one completed circuit. I was happy to get at least one of them in. So let's continue on and go through, look at some other stuff. One of the next things that I want to show you is that I actually did get the insulation and the rest of the ceiling in my equipment cabinet. Did that so that I could actually get the ceiling in and start putting the equipment in. It was a bit of a pain, but had to do little pieces at a time here and there to conform to the angle of the roof. One of the other things that I did is I was able to clean up my wiring right here, get it all clamped down. I've got my line set control cable. It's not a control cable, but I got all that wiring set up, clamped down, and in place. These pieces of wood right here, I glued them in from the back and held them in place to make sure that no screws got through there. Originally all the wires were down in the bottom and I didn't want screws hitting the wire. I changed my mind on that, but I do have those pieces of wood. I'm glad I did, because they gave me a spot to raise and clamp the wires, so that was a bonus. I really love the way the finish on the inside of the cabinet came out. I'm getting ready to start putting some plywood now that I got everything cleaned up. I did try to rework the breaker panel a little bit, try to clean it up. This stranded wire doesn't hold its shape very well, so it's real difficult to do that. I'm used to working with copper in panels, and it's real easy to keep them straight and sort them out and make them look nice and neat, but this was not very easy. But at any rate, I kind of cleaned it up. I disconnected everything, reconnected everything. The only straggler I have is this one line that keeps popping out that goes over to the inverter. Once I put the panel on, it'll be all right. But I really like that. One of the things that I do want to let you know is that the whole concept idea and deal with the slides underneath the drawer for the batteries, it's gone. That ain't gonna work. I got to thinking about and trying to engineer the electrical connections that would move with this thing, and well, I wasn't gonna do that. So at this point, I think it's time. You can see the rat nest of wires in the background there in the bottom of the drawer. So let's talk about this whole mini split fiasco thing. So that rat's nest of wires right there is actually the wiring that I ran from the panel to the back for the rear mini split, and from the panel to the front for the front mini split. Well, if you remember, I forget, a video episode or two ago, you saw me installing the line sets and also the power cables, but you also saw me going back and installing what I was affectionately calling a control cable. Ladies and gentlemen, that is not the control cable. That is actually the power cable. The mini splits on the inside in this dual zone mini split get their power through that cable from the outside condenser unit. So I had to go back and pull out all of that wiring that I put in. No harm, no foul. I mean, I can use it for something else, but it was just a lot of work that I did to get it in, and just had to pull it all out. I did all that yesterday. So let's go back and look at what I found out about this mini split. One of the things that you will see is that I do have the line sets and the power cable, all of that stuff, all nice and neat, and it's all routed in. So let me step back so you can see it, but there is my mini split. It is temporarily installed. This is where it's going to go, but I just got it up there so that I could check the line set and all of that. I needed to get my line set fixed in the position that it needed to be in so that I could put the ceiling on my equipment cabinet in case I needed to move it. But I got her taken care of. So let me go ahead and open up this front cabinet here. The cabinet is open, and as you can see right here, here is my control cable, which is actually the power cable. I've got it set to the right length so it'll go into the right spot and make all the connections right here across this. I've got a display panel and some other stuff that'll probably connect into those. One of the things I will tell you is that it is very much my fault because I didn't really pay attention to the instructions for this thing very well. And had I done that, I would have known I never had to do that extra wiring, but I figured it out the hard way. One of the things that I wanted to show you, which is kind of amazing in the efficiency of these things, I don't know if you can see it or not. Hopefully it will come in. Yeah, right here. So the actual current draw of this thing is 0.41 amps at 208 to 230 volts. It has a minimum circuit ampacity of 3 amps and the max fuse of 15. Well, when I was looking at this and I saw that max fuse rating, I said, all right, I need a 15 amp breaker for it. Well, no, I didn't. But anyway, let's walk over here. Let me show you what I got going on this side. It's kind of difficult to see, but underneath there you can see the this is the large copper tube. This is the 1/4 inch copper tube, and here's my line set. I've got a little bit of an overlap on those, so I'll be able to make the connections and stuff. I've got flexibility in this area that I can move them and adjust them and stuff, and they are flexible, so I can move them. But anyway, that's my mini split fiasco. I had the idea of doing this to make sure that my line sets were in place so that I could close out my equipment cabinet, and I sure am glad I did, because it was a big help. One of the other things that I did was I had this LED light string, and by the way, these are cold. I like it. I don't have to worry about it burning or melting anything in here, but this thing is like almost 100 feet long, and I wanted to get some light in here, and they're all LED, so I spent the morning stringing those up and getting them in place, because as the temperatures start to rise and we start heading towards spring, you can see they go all the way to the front of the bus and back. I don't want to run those halogen lights and get this thing from 80 to 100. As it is, it goes from 30 to 50 in a few minutes. So anyway, that's where we're at right now. That's what I've done this week. Carried you back through some history stuff, and then that's where we're at right now. One of the next things that I want to do is close off this wall right here. Go ahead and put my fabric cloth over this wall and get it closed in. And then I'm going to start putting my equipment in here and getting it out of the way. I think I'm going to wrap this one up because it is getting pretty long right now, and I think we'll pick it up starting tomorrow on episode 12. And I think what we'll probably be doing is focusing on getting all this plumbing in, because just so you're aware, I seem to be all over the place, but I do want to let you know what's going on is, in order for me to register this thing as an RV, basically everything from this point back needs to be complete. I need to have heating, cooling, plumbing, cooking, all of that stuff to be able to have everything in place for registering as an RV. Everything north of the refrigerator doesn't really matter. I don't have to have a couch to have it be an RV. I want one. I'm going to build one, but it's not a requirement. One of the other things that I need to do is come up here and behind that roll of Reflectix, I need to get my driver's seat in and get it connected up and get my front area fixed up and get my dash put back together. That's the big thing. That's the whole safety issue. I got to get all the lights working and stuff. So anyway, that's where we're at. That's what we've got done so far. I'm going to kick off episode 12 tomorrow, and we're going to be starting all over and doing a whole bunch more stuff. The rest of the evening, I'm going to get that mini split out of here. I keep hitting it with my head, and I don't want to knock it off because it's just sitting up there and hanging, so I don't want to break it. So I'm going to get that out, do some cleanup work in here, try to look at some other stuff and getting some things set and staged so that tomorrow morning we can get after it and get after it in full force. I appreciate you. Like and subscribe, and let me know what you think. Give me some comments. Tell me what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong, ways that I might be able to do it better. I'd appreciate hearing from everybody out there.